Welcome to Marketplace with Charles, brought to you by Art of Skincare. Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you, as well as Kuisa Lodge, situated at the heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve. If tranquility is what you're looking for, then Mabalingwe Nature Reserve and Kuisa Lodge is the place to be. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we empower and equip you with the tools that you need to achieve your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insight from experts in different fields of business, from men and women of faith. Today, we meet a community developer, a business administrator, and an environmentalist, Mr. Moudy.
Thank you, Charles.
Mr. Moudy, you know, I try to pronounce your surname.
I know, my surname is Mudzielwana. It's a vendor name.
Mudzielwana?
Yes.
Ah, I got it. And your other name was Joe?
It was Joe because they could not pronounce Moudy, which is a shortcut of Mohammed.
Oh, Moudy is a shortcut for Mohammed?
Yeah, that's my real name. Okay.
So you're an Indian by nature?
We could say Vendian because I'm Venda and then Indian on the other side.
Well, to my lovely viewers, you know, an environment that you live in, it can make you or it can break you. On the other side of the coin, you can also make or break the environment. The environment was given to us to manage, and yet many times we fail to take cognizance of it, and we leave things unchecked. And if you do that, this environment can kill you. The environment also offers many unique business opportunities, and one of those, we're going to zoom onto it today. Moudy, I want us to zoom into the environment.
Yes.
As a business. Tell me, and the viewers out there, your involvement in the environment.
Yeah. Remember, I studied environmental sciences at the University of Venda.
Yeah.
Then the opportunity came when I worked for another consulting company and find out what do they do when they do environmental studies. Then that is when later I realized that the environmental studies are done in line with the legislation of the country that is aimed at protecting the environment. So then I fall in love with protecting the environment. So the importance of environmentalists within the environment is to make sure that any development that can be done does consider environmental impacts and also mitigation measures of such impacts so that we can have sustainability within the environment.
You know, I also wish that the University of Venda can go ahead and preserve this wealth of knowledge. You go all over the country. More than 90% of the people working for DMR are from the University of Venda.
Yeah, the University of Venda has been since 1995 when environmental science was introduced. It has produced over 3,000 graduates, and a lot of them, they are working within other companies. Some are working for departments, and then some are working for municipality. So you feel proud that you have been part of those because the perception has always been that rural universities produce unemployable graduates, but we are proving it wrong.
Or the way producing teachers and social workers.
Yeah, that's what people think.
Yes, but tell me, why is it so important to take care of the environment and manage it?
Remember our interaction with the environment. We get oxygen from plants, and then plants get carbon dioxide from us. We drink water, and then on the roads, the landscapes, animals, we eat meat at Mabalingwe Game Reserve. We're looking for the big five. If we have to kill them, where are we going to see them? If we have to pollute the environment, if they drink water that we contaminate with waste, you know, people, when they go buy groceries, currently we're talking about plastics, 8 million tons of plastics that cannot be accounted for because people are reckless. So we really have to look after environment because it looks after us.
That's awesome. And I think our government is also doing a lot when it comes to that. They've introduced carbon tax.
Yes.
And when it comes to diesel, you remember it was not regulated.
Yeah.
It came down to 500 ppm, to 50 ppm. And now the great salt filling stations, they're down to 10 ppm.
Yeah, that's the regulations are very good, and we really have, even now we're looking at banning plastics like your straws. You are getting straws that are made on paper that are recyclable. So the challenge that is more difficult now for our people, we are talking about 53 million of South Africans or people that are accounted for, who might not be aware of the impacts of what they do to the environment. So we need to start teaching people ethics and not try to work on regulations only. It's what we have been discussing with the department to say, let's try to empower people to understand what is the impact of what they do to the environment so that when regulations comes, it's just a standard. So if you want to work on ethics, you then influence people to take ownership of what they do to the environment.
And it's so sad. Sometimes you drive behind a car.
Yeah.
Someone else in the car in front of you throw out some stuff through the window. Who's going to pick up that?
If you remember the president during the launch of Good Green Deeds, he did say that he was taught that by his own kids because they were telling him that you cannot throw things out. And he was not really aware. And a lot of elders, they are not aware of what are the impacts because and also the perception is that they are government employees or municipal employees that must be responsible for that. But when that plastic gets into your own yard, you don't want it. It just clearly says, not on my door.
Yeah.
Then that is the perception that we need to really have to deal with that and create more awareness around these issues.
Take me through the different categories of environment.
When as a business or... Yes. Yeah. Environmental business is various, where you have to consider what is it that you want to do to the environment. Let's talk about what I do, which is environmental consulting.
Yeah.
My job is to assist anybody who wants to develop an activity that is listed within National Environmental Management Act, National Waste Management Act, and National Air Quality Act. Those activities may not commence without an environmental authorization. So the business opportunity there is to do the environmental impact studies and other associated studies like biodiversity studies and your stormwater management plans. Then you have got an opportunity for recycling because now there is over 111 million tons of waste in our country. So now we need to clean that environment. Now how can we do that? Recycling is one of them. Cleanups programs are one of them. And also you are creating parks where there have been dumps. Then you can also consider your specialized studies like biodiversity bioprospecting, where you are making already, your company is making beauty products out of natural resources. Yeah. It's part of the business, environmental, saving environment. You can do air quality management where you can arrest your carbon footprint and guide people on such kind of things. You can actually do geology where you are able to guide on the structures of the ground because most of the buildings sometimes they are being built around unstable environment. People are also building on dolomite where it's risky for them.
Tell me, Moudy, how much knowledge will one require to get involved in any of the business opportunities around the environment?
Yeah, environment, the actual studies where there is a specific metrics of how to do that, that will require you to have a degree or a diploma to study towards that. Yeah. But in terms of recycling, you only need information of how to classify waste and know where to take what. And that is it can still be gotten from municipality officials. They can guide community members and either. Also, you can communicate with organizations like ourselves to find out how can you separate waste. But then again, the importance is you spoke about purpose not so long. Yeah. The whole business environment is not different from any business model that you can create. It starts with the ideation of what is it that you want to do. and they start to prototype what is it that to prove that this can make money. And then you start working towards it and they start participating mainly on the programs that we have. Department of Environmental Affairs and other organizations in the environmental space, they always have workshops. So people should just realize if there is a platform to make money, business is the same. The concept of business is the same. But within the space of environment, there is waste where everybody is looking at. But there is also biodiversity, which not many people are aware that even government is assisting people to can still also put wildlife in their own spaces. So while we are crying for land, we should also be thinking, what are we going to do with the land?
Yeah.
And again, you can't talk about agriculture and they don't talk about waste. People are doing biogas. They're making their own electricity within the farms. So that's why you won't really hear many farmers talking about electricity as part of a business challenge, because they are recycling their own waste and then make it biogas. So there are several opportunities, and you don't necessarily need to have an MBA to start a business. Your MBA within a community is identifying what is missing in the picture of your own community. And if it's in the environmental space, you can always find out from us what is it that you can do, and the guidance is there. Support government have got many structures that they are supporting these community members.
Most of the people they talk of funding as a stumbling block.
Yeah.
How can one overcome this?
I think it's always nice because I'm talking to a businessman. Because a lot of people, funding has never been a stumbling block for a business to start.
Yeah.
Imagine you are an environmentalist. You get Charles is looking for a mining right. You know how to do it. That cost only could probably be 2 million. And then he gives you a deposit of around 250,000. You buy a computer, you hire a car, you go to the site, you come back, you write the reports from the office. What is the stumbling block there? But when you talk about even recycling, there's a lot of people that you see on the road every day. They are not funded. Those people, they make out of 16,000 rand a month. They did not need funding. But what I've seen with us South Africans, we are not patient. The moment you get into workshops where they're talking about application for funds, we complain about so many documents. What is the rush for? So the barrier is that we are looking at the money, but we don't want to walk the steps towards the money.
Yeah.
That is what I've seen. That is affecting many young people in the country. Because if we want to really sort our own community problems, we can't be talking about fourth industrial revolution in China. It must start there, because you must start by fixing your own mentality, your own perceptions, and then we start thinking of how can we access opportunities within our government. Yes, they will say there are red tapes, but not any single person can define what is a red tape. The red tape to me is time. We are always rushing somewhere. But if we are patient and you see all the funding institutions in the country, who's benefiting? It's the same foreign people and the white people that are patient.
You know, we will always complain about the money.
Yes.
We want instant success.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be like Moudy overnight.
Yeah.
But they don't know where you come from.
Yeah.
Do you mind to share us briefly your story, where you come from?
Yeah.
Because, like you're rightly saying, we don't even want to start small.
No.
We want to be like Moudy tomorrow.
Yes.
But were you born like this?
No. I was born in Venda. And to be honest, growing out of a family of 21, it was not easy. And even 21 graduates, because...
What do you mean by family of 21?
Kids of my father, my brothers or my siblings.
Oh, so you have got 20 other siblings?
Yeah.
With yourself 21?
Yeah.
From the same father?
Yes.
And all graduates?
Yes.
Wow.
That's so when you earlier you spoke about the career that you could follow. It could be teaching, it could be agriculture. We've got 5 that have done agriculture, and you realize that then you don't want to do what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
When I did environmental science, I did not even know what is it all about. I did it to pass. But when I started to work with different companies, 2005, I did a proposal for another company, and I thought to myself, this could be me. Why don't I do it myself? I registered a company, but I stayed at an employment until 2007. Then 2007, I started buying equipment with my salary, and I employed 2 people to work for me while I was still working. Then I had a breakthrough when I got a job for Transnet. Then that's when I resigned. So young people, you are very right. They want to be here now. They want to have what you have now, and they forget that. For me as Chikoba today, I'm doing an interview on TV probably after 15 years of operation. But they want to start with a TV interview and start going to the ground. And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't realize the challenges that you face, and you have to always reinvent yourself. Recently, we started from scratch, meaning in my office, because over the years, I've assisted over 200 graduates to get jobs and then have experience. But then you cannot sustain them for long because they need to go out to the market. Now we've got new 12 graduates that are working with us. So it's another time which I need to spend almost a year. So you can realize what efforts you put within a business. And then we don't stop studying. We have to continue studying now. After having done a degree of your father, you now have to do yours, which you're really passionate about. So that's what happens. You are very right that the young people want to be here with us now, but they don't spend time at the right place.
You're big in giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Do you want to share a little bit on that?
Yes, I was taught, like I said, when I told you about my family background, I could not understand when my father was taking other kids to school around the community. But one day he said to us, if I don't help these communities and I happen to die, they will depend on you. So if we help them, they will depend on themselves. So that those are the people that are going to look after me when I'm no longer able. So that came to me and said, there are a lot of people that are poor, and you have to assist them. Some will assist them with bursaries to go to school, but obviously now that government is helping, it's not a lot. But there are people that are staying in a house that is dilapidated. You have to assist. We've built, it's a 3rd house now in Venda, which we have done. We've worked with other companies in Mpumalanga, where we are also building houses, buying them products that they do. And recently we also work with a lot of graduates in terms of each year we have got a conference. We call it the Chikoba Graduates and Entrepreneurs Empowerment Conference, where we look at how to bringing the business and government together to explain what are the opportunities and how can they apply themselves in terms of personal development and professional development. Because these are the things that we never had to do. So in my conferences, I try to get funds through my NGO so that they don't pay for those services. Yeah, so we do a lot in terms of, people say it's giving back, but at home I try to give out of my heart, because hardly I do work with my hometown like Wembe, like Limpopo. So it's probably stealing money from Mpumalanga and take it to
take it back home.
Yeah, but that's why mostly you will see that we are in Mpumalanga. That's where we do a lot of assistance. Even in the next week, we have a women's conference that we sponsoring that side, where we're going to make sure that at least women can celebrate their months, in consideration of most of them worried about what should be done for them, instead what can be done through them. And that is what we are trying to help. And we are going to have some guys that are going to talk business to also empower them to find business locally that side.
Let's say there's someone out there who has got a passion for the environment. What will be your word of advice to the viewer?
Yes, it's very important that passion is guided. So when you say you have got passion for environment, you need to tell me what part of environment. Environment has got almost 7 parameters. So if you are interested in land rehabilitation, if you are considered in water, if you are in air quality, if you want to be in waste, you have to tell us and say that is my passion. So I always want to say that anybody who wants to look after environment, it start from a small garden at home where you have got some small park, and then that creates the love for yourself. And when you love yourself, you can love the environment.
You said you're dealing a lot with university students.
Yes.
Sometimes the challenge with the university student after graduating is finding a job. They have a CV, but they can't get a job.
Yes.
What can you say to them?
First thing,
some few tricks.
First thing, they must stop looking for a job because they've got qualifications. The qualifications are very good, but times are gone where you study to pass like us. So you need to start gaining momentum of what you want to do when you are still around third year and the fourth year. But for those that have already graduated, is that you need to understand what skills do you have and which market do need that. Because a lot of young kids come to you and say, I'm dropping my CV. And then you ask, how can I help you? Say, I'm looking for any job. In my industry, there is no any job. So you need to tell me, I've done geology, I'm able to do geological reports. I've done air quality, I know air quality I can do. Then we can match you with people that can assist you. I don't do interviews when I employ graduates. I employ attitude and personality. The technical skills is only 10% that will teach you. You have got that process from school. So that the unfortunate part when they meet Charles, who is just a taxi owner, they are telling Charles about their qualifications. That doesn't work. We complain that most of young white graduates, they get employed quicker and they get paid better. What I've learned about them, they take any job when they are still at school. They do waitress, they do makeups, they do whatever, because they are learning employment earlier. They are learning to have a relationship with money, professionalism, and then when they get into a proper employment, they already know what is basics. So some of our kids, when you say volunteer, there is an opportunity. Tomorrow they don't have money to go to work, but they are staying in Sunnyside for free. The parents are still paying. So what do you, if you are an environmentalist coming from Komati Port, where nature conservation is key, what are you doing in Sunnyside?
I wish we could dwell much on this. But unfortunately, our time is up.
No, I understand that.
But I just want to say thank you very much for gracing our studios. It has been my pleasure to host you, sir.
Now, for me, I'm really happy to be part of this. It is my commitment to work with the public and to serve.
And if someone wants to get hold of you, how will they do that? Other than the Facebook, which I know you are great.
Now, my contacts are simple. It's my phone number is 076-431-1016. It doesn't change anywhere. It's in my cars. That is the number. And then at the offices are at 260 Troy Street in McClinic here in Pretoria. And then if it's an email, the easiest one is moudy@moudy.co.za. It's moudy@moudy.co.za. But you can always Google Chikoba brand or brand Chikoba. Then it will give you all my companies.
And I am Charles Ngobeni signing off on Marketplace with Charles. You can go head of me on charlesngobeni.com, Instagram Charles_Ngobeni. You can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, you can go on all forms of social media. And I would love you to play this clip over and over and over again on YouTube, because your life will never be the same once this thing sinks in you. But do remember, we are going to Israel on December 8th, and it will be my pleasure to have you. Who knows? You could be sitting next to Moudy in a bus. Well, join us to see the Bible comes alive. God bless you. See you next time, same channel.
Join Marketplace with Charles on an 11-day tour of the Holy Land from the 8th of December 2019. Take the route Israel traveled to the Promised Land, cross over the Red Sea, and float on the Dead Seas, the lowest point on earth with amazing healing properties. Experience the vibe of Jericho and cruise on the Sea of Galilee to Capernaum, the hometown of Jesus. Visit the pools of Bethesda, Nazareth, Bethlehem, and many more. Walk where Jesus walked and see the Bible come alive. If beautiful memories and an enriched spirit is what you are looking for, then join us in taking Jesus to the marketplace. For more information, call us on +27 72 123 0078 or email israel@artofskincare.co.za.
Greetings, this is Dr. Abraham S. Roger extending an invitation to come join our Bible school. We want to train, equip, activate, and release you into your ministry. We offer a program from first year all the way to PhD level. We are fully correspondent, and our material and our broadcasts are available all over the world. So why waste any further time? Contact us today. And just remember, we are free and waiting to train you, equip, and activate you into the ministry God has in store for you. See you soon at one of our campuses.